We're talking about short films and cinematography. How do they relate? You need a cinematographer to make a short film. That's how they relate. Short films are usually produced by students or, someone who's new to the industry, but anybody can make a short film. The purpose of making a short film could be to just tell a really short, concise story. That's also really helpful when it comes to festivals. When you do festivals, there's usually a specific time set that they want you to hit. Some are like 5 minutes, some are like 10 minutes, depending on the length that the festival has as a requirement. But professionals also make short films. I've actually worked on many short films. Usually the point of them is to get a concept up and running. The team usually wants to show what they can do to be able to get either funding or to be able to get more people interested in it and make a feature film. And that's what usually the goal. If your short film gets selected or if it gets enough traction for you to get funding, then you can make a whole feature film out of it.
Hi, I'm Bleed Blue. Welcome to my channel. If I keep popping up on your recommendeds, or if you're just new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe as it helps the channel grow. Thank you.
A short film, the script is usually smaller and it gets directly to the point. I highly enjoy watching short films because sometimes you're left wondering, I want to know more about this world. It's like a little sweet candy in a way where you once it's gone, you're like, oh man, I want some more, but it's good enough. Narrative short films are very common in film festivals, and I highly recommend you go to the New York Film Festival if you haven't gone to any film festival. The New York Film Festival is really cool. The Tribeca Film Festival is a good one. The tickets are a bit pricey and it's hard to get them, but if you ever go to Tribeca Film Festival, you're definitely going to see some stars. As far as cinematography, a cinematographer, he oversees the photography of the film. That's camera work and lighting. The cinematographer in hierarchy would be parallel to the director because they work hand in hand to be able to create the vision for the films. Underneath the cinematographer, you have the camera team and then you have the lighting team. The camera team consists of first assistant camera, camera operator, second assistant camera, and loader depending on the budget. But most of the time, if the cinematographer is operating, which happens quite often in short films, you just have first assistant camera and a second assistant camera, which is the one that does the slate. In the lighting side of things, the cinematographer is talking to the gaffer and the key grip. The gaffer and the key grip work hand in hand to be able to produce the lighting that is required for the scene. For example, if you're shooting a horror film, you're going to need enough control of light, which is where the key grip comes in, where he brings in a solid. It could be 4x4 feet or 8x8 feet or 12x12 feet. It's just a black rag that we use as negative fill to take away certain light or control how much light is reaching a portion of the frame. The gaffer is the head lighting technician, as we spoke about before. The head lighting technician has his best boy underneath him. Under that, there are electrics. The gaffer controls the kind of lights and the quality of lights. Him and the key grip collaborate to be able to get the soft quality of light. So the key grip, he's also in charge of rigging and lighting. Key grip uses the rags, which could also be diffusion rags in the same sizes, 4 feet, 8 feet, 10 feet, 12 feet, depending on what is needed, how big of a source of diffusion you're going to need. The gaffer usually puts the lights behind it, and then the key grip puts the rag in front of it so it diffuses the light as it goes through. And the key grip also is in charge of rigging, which means that if we need the camera on top of the hood of a car, he'll figure out how to get that there. If we need the camera to do a swing above the talent and we don't have a jib, he can figure out how to do certain moves with it if they have the right pipe and grippage to make it happen. If him and the gaffer need to rig us a light up above talent, the key grip can figure out how to make that happen. I have a couple examples of short films that I worked on. I actually DP'd this. DP means director of photography. Don't get it wrong. This is a film called Blue Hundreds. Like I said, short films can be produced to be able to make a feature narrative film. Basically, my friend Andre approached me. He's like, hey, David, I have this short film that I wrote. I have the script that I wrote for a short film. I want to make something out of it, but I don't have the budget. Basically, what we did is we narrowed down a couple scenes out of the bigger script that told a smaller story and kind of introduced you to the characters in this world. To be able to produce this, we basically had no budget. It was just me pulling focus and my camera. We shot it with my red Komodo. We had Sigma Cine lenses, which I was pulling off the barrel. I didn't really have an assistant camera for this one. Right off the bat, you can kind of get a sense of what the movie's about. We wanted to tell a story and make it feel as gritty as possible. The story is about a gang of, let's just call them thieves, but they're professional. They brought banks and they do heists. This beginning shot, we wanted to introduce the cop. He's this guy in the gray suit. He's a cop, and we wanted to make sure that he was in deep shit when we introduced him. As you can see, he was sneaking around. This shot was shot with a longer telephoto lens. I think it was the 50 to 100 cine zoom, and I was using the bars from the stairs to be able to hide the talent that's right here, so that way you don't notice this person sneaking up on them. Play that again.
Give me that shit. Looks like somebody else wanted a cut. Ain't that right, detective?
Please, I have a wife and 2 kids. You don't want to do this. Trust me.
In this previous shot, we didn't want to reveal who this person was, because this shot was mainly focused on the detective. In this shot where the door bust opens, this is where we reveal who it is that the detective was talking to. This shot was very difficult to shoot because we had to be low in the ground. We had to be able to get a 2-shot with them and not be able to show too much of the room. This was somebody's house. I think it was the director's house. Andre, the director's cousin's house, yes. They barely furnished it, so it kind of looked like the part, but we needed to do camera work to be able to hide like blank walls. Blank walls look so bland in movies.
Somebody else wanted a cut.
That's why I put this hookah right here in the foreground.
Please, I have a wife and 2 kids. You don't want to do this. Trust me.
This is the room. Like I said, it looks very bland if you're just staring at the wall. That's why with composition, we placed the talent over here. This character, we're going to reveal him. And that's why for the edit, we chose to show his back first before he even spoke. And also gives you a layout of where the 2 other actors are in relation to the room. Back here in this window outside, we have like 1 LED light to just be able to cast some of this shaft. I think the sun was also helping a lot. Off of frame to give this actor this little gold light. We had it on top of this is a pool table, which you'll find out later. We had him basically giving him a little bit of a kicker on here. And then on this side of the frame, we have a smaller little light giving him just a little fill, so that we give him dimension and he doesn't fall into the darkness, because he's also wearing a dark shirt and a dark hat.
Sounds like your ass should have stayed at home with me.
Hey, Hooch. Shoot his dick off.
Nigga, what?
Yeah, what? Ain't like you using it anyway. Motherfuckers been chasing us for weeks. I know your wife is home lonely as fuck. What's up, detective? You don't like your wife? I mean, this is her, right?
Where did you get that? You've been...
With our limited resources, it was hard to pull off this shot where he goes from sitting down to right in front of him. I knew that because he was a little bit of a sinister character based on his dialogue, I did like that in when he's sitting down, he is a bit in the shadow, which is why I just gave him more of an edge light here. And this fill is coming from the window. I had a light out here in the window. So basically,
Nigga, what?
I needed to
Yeah, what?
split up the
Ain't
light,
like you're using it anyway.
the light sources to be able to get from him back here to right in front of him. The other two shots are shot separate, but we are recycling the lights every shot. We're reusing the same lights. In short films, you often are limited with a budget, and we kind of the limitations help you think outside the box. The limitations help you stretch reality because you have how many lights you're able to use, you know what the situation is, and you think creatively when you're strapped. So he walks into this light right here when he sits down. When he sits down, he walks into this light, which I'm using an LED panel off of the edge of frame right here. This is was a very difficult scene because we're working with two different color skin tones, and when you blast light to be able to see one's color skin tone in this specific scenario, he has way darker skin tone than the detective. You also have to control the light that's falling on him. This is what I mean when the key grip comes in and puts a flag in there. It's basically to control where the light falls and where it doesn't. So we controlled it so it doesn't fall too much on his face where it exposes, but we controlled it where it hits him over here on the coat. And then most of the light is hitting him in the face.
Only as fuck. What's up, detective? You don't like your wife? I mean,
in the detective's reverse, we had the same lighting setup that we had for the previous gentleman, but we made it a little bit softer for him just because he is the good guy. But as you watch the movie, you realize that there is no good guys. The overall arcing in the bigger narrative story is it's kind of gray area on who's the good guy and the bad guy.
I mean, this is her, right?
Where did you get that? You've been to my house?
How the fuck are you gonna get a woman like this? Man, don't even trip. I'll take care of her. As soon as you get that.
Louis, shut up! Armani, what you want to do? We can dump his ass out back, but we gotta go anyway.
Wait. You can't kill a cop. Besides, my partner's outside. If he doesn't hear from me soon, he's coming in here guns blazing.
He ain't got no backup. He's by himself. I checked.
What do you say, detective? Should I let Gucci turn you into a dolphin? While Louis gets in your car, drives to your house, fucks your wife?
Yeah, it's very intense scene. So basically, this lighting setup is the same shot as the previous shot. We held an over the shoulder on the detective to be able to get this person's earlier coverage and this person's current coverage. I was able to manage to utilize one light to light both of their faces, and I think the scenario really plays it off really well because they are supposed to be shady and they're supposed to be in the dark side.
I know you don't like that. I hate rhetorical questions too. Let me help you out. Give me his gun. Alright, multiple choice. A, you go home $10,000 richer and pretend you never saw our faces. Or B, we end it right here, right now, and we're just gonna continue robbing banks. Bank after bank, and life will go on without you. Wait. I'll be real careful how you answer me, detective. This ain't the time to be witty. Tick tock. Smart man.
So that was it. That was the short. And it was basically a scene
Nigga,
to be able to introduce the characters, to be able to tell the story of cops and robbers and how they interact with each other. This guy right here, you know, he's the boss. He was actually the director. He's the one that wrote the short film, Andre, and you know, put it out there. Highly recommend you watch it. Give it a watch in your spare time so you understand it and you don't have me talking over it. Because we were working with darker skin tones, I opted for a warmer light to hit their faces. You nowhere in this movie, in any shot, do you see a yellow lamp in the room at all. But because I shot it in a warmer LUT, I chose to augment their highlights with warmer light. Darker skin tones look a lot better with tungsten color light. That's what I mean by warm light. So orange looks nicer on darker skin tones than any blue or purple. Think of the warmer spectrum, like yellow, reds look a little bit better on darker skin tones. When you look at the detective, he is still getting a little bit of the warmness, but you could definitely tell that we're balancing to white on his shot right here. This right here, the yellow on his face. For all these shots, like I said in previous streams, I like to shoot on the shadow side of the face. That way you get this contrast, and you get the light is kind of reflecting off the skin rather than showing the color of the skin. Also, when you're working with the edges, when you're giving people these edge lights over here, it also could raise the intensity of the situation, because you feel like it's a warm room. You can feel like it's toasty and everybody's sweating. It was like the middle of fall, I think, when we shot this a couple of years ago. I think what also augmented it to make it feel like they were smoking and there was a lot more going on in here is I opted for haze. The haze not only allows me to make the room like if they were smoking, but it also adds an extra layer of ambience to the room, where back here you get to see where the light source is coming from. I think we have another right here. In this one, you can feel where the light is coming from over here, because it carries it in as ambience. I have another film that I also DP'd. Well, first, let's give this a like right here. Highly recommend you guys watch it.